All right, everyone, welcome to the Google Sheets Challenge. So in your Google Classroom, you will see two different documents. You will see this document with the scenario and the different steps you need to take in the challenge. And you will see the actual Google Sheet where you will be just playing around with the skills and getting to know this app a little bit better. So let's start off. I will say that if you are comfortable with it, I recommend for you to just not watch this video and try and do the challenge on your own. If you get stuck or if you just want to build a little confidence, then just watch the video and follow along. But you will learn a little bit more if you have to stumble around a little bit on your own. Okay, so here we go. Let's start off. Sheets challenge. Our scenario, you want to analyze 3 months of student test data. Open up the sheet from Classroom, and in column E, use a formula to calculate each student's average score. So let's start off with that. Let's go to our sheet, column E. Everything is divided by columns and rows. So let's create our first formula. So just like in Microsoft Excel, formulas start with the equal sign. And I can just type in average. And then I select the data that I want to use. I want the average of these 3 months. Press enter, and the average pops up. Now I could do the same thing for all the different rows, but it's much simpler if I just click on this box, click on the blue square, drag down, and the condition is replicated for all the different rows. All right, what is next in our challenge? Sort the sheet in descending order, largest to smallest, by average score. So right now it's sorted by student. We want to sort it by the average score. So we're going to go up here on the little drop-down menu, and we're going to sort from Z to A. And now we should have the highest average score at the top and the lowest at the bottom. Yes. So that is done. This is getting a little confusing, so let's select the ones we've already done. Check them off. All right, now I'm going to create 2 charts from the student test data and resize them to fit in the page. So let's create 2 charts. How do we create charts? Now, the way that I like to do it is I like to go down to this little explore button. It's probably my favorite feature about most of these apps is this explore button. And it automatically, Google will try and predict what data I might need. So let's insert the chart that they gave me. And then let's make another chart. So I'm going to select the data that I want to do. I could select it from the Explore button, but let me show you the other way that you can do it, because sometimes the Explore button will act up on you. I've selected my data, and I'm going to go up to Insert, and I'm going to insert chart. I'm going to resize it, move it around. Okay, so I have my 2 charts. Create a new doc titled Chart and add one of the charts from your sheet into the doc. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, let's start off by creating a new doc. There's a little shortcut that I'm going to teach you here. It's just docs.new, and then enter, and that will automatically create a new Google Doc. It's much quicker than going to your email and going to your waffle, selecting create a new document, this is probably one of the shortcuts that I use the most. All right, so let's title that chart. And let's select which chart we want to put in here. Let's do the average test grade. I'm going to Control C. That is the keyboard shortcut to copy. And then I'm going to Control V. And that's the keyboard shortcut to paste. Now I have two options when I select to paste. I can paste it unlinked, which would be like pasting a picture or a screenshot of the data, or I could link it live, which is what I'm going to do. Now, what does that mean? That means that the data in here is live. So if I make a change, like for example, student 5, I made a mistake on his or her March test grade. Well, if I make a change here, let's say they actually got a 95. Well, if I change that, obviously their average is going to change. So if I go back to my chart and I update it, I will see in real time the change. So it's pretty useful. All right, I've done that. Resize any columns where text is cut off or extends into another cell. Okay, you might have noticed the spacing on this is all over the place. The size of column A versus B versus C, D, E. That's just based on the amount of text that's in there. Now, I could go one by one and drag these until they're perfect, but it's much simpler if I just click on these dividers and double click, and the program will automatically size it where the text stops. So I'm just going to do that for each place where there's text. Double click, and it will resize. All right, finally, attach your chart doc to the assignment. Okay, so you're going to go to My Assignment. I'm going to have to use a different Google Classroom to show you how we do this. But you'll go to My Post where I put the Sheets challenges. You're going to see this little tab on the top that says, this little section says Your Work. You can click Add or Create. You're going to select from Google Drive because that's where all of your work is being saved. And in your most recent, you should see the chart. Click on that, add it, and I will send you your PDPs.